Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I felt like we didn't quite cover everything that I'm loving style-wise in my recent favorites video, which covered everything in life that I'm loving, including a few style elements. So I wanted to devote a whole video to my favorite spring style staples, and these are all things that I've had for at least a little while, and so they really have kind of passed the test of things that I feel like I couldn't do without style-wise for the spring. And the first thing that I want to talk about is what I'm wearing. So I always try and wear some of my favorites, and so that's exactly what I did for this video. The first thing that I want to talk about is the sweater I'm wearing. So this is actually from Say. I got it off of the Real. They have some amazing deals on like pretty much totally unused things. So that's where I got this one from, but it really is all about texture for me. I've been able to transition the outer layer of my outfit so that I can wear more of like a trench coat or more of like a light coat, and underneath that I've just been loving texture. So this sleeveless one has amazing texture. It's got a really cool kind of hexagonal kind of pattern going on. It's a little bit different than a traditional cable knit, but of the cable knit variety, I've got this one from Neiman Marcus. It's from their own line, and I purchased this in the sale during the holidays, and I have been getting a ton of wear out of it. It's a really pretty caramel color. Nice to have your arms free as soon as it warms up a few degrees, but having all of that textured, really nice cashmere keeps me very warm even in the office. So I've been really enjoying the sleeveless variety, but I've also still been wearing this one from Emerson Rose a lot, which also has amazing texture. You can see it's cable knit down the front, but it's a little bit different in that you've got the cable knit detail coming in, and then the sleeves are kind of ribbed with a cable knit down the side. And it's the palest of blushes, which is a really gorgeous color for spring. If it's still really crisp out where you live, I highly recommend this sweater. It's a tunic length. It's really easy to wear with a pair of skinny black pants for work or yoga pants for the weekend. It's been one of my favorite pieces in the winter, and I've still been wearing it a lot in the spring as well. What I've been pairing with them is actually a surprise to me. So I wasn't really planning on bringing back azure pearls. I like to switch it up with my lines, as you guys know. So with Nouvelle Apparel, I don't repeat colors. I change them every season. So I've got my spring summer line going on back here with my Provence lavender scarf. But it's really all thanks to you guys, because I actually got a few requests to make azure pearls again. So it's a convertible style with a detachable bracelet, and it's got Amazonite beads worked in. They're this really gorgeous light turquoise that really enhances the creaminess of the classic white pearls. So I'm wearing 2 strands today because I just really missed them. As soon as the weather warmed up a little bit, I really was drawn to that color, and making them for you guys reminded me how much I love the design. And not everything has to be ephemeral, so I think this design is a real keeper, and at least while supplies last, as they say, I think I'm going to bring it back. So when you see this video, it'll be relisted on Nouvelle Pearl, and you can go ahead and purchase it. And I just love the photos as well for that line. So I did the photos on Kahala Beach with my mom. It was a really special photo shoot for us. I love the photos, and yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed this necklace all last summer. I found that this spring it's really working for me style wise, in that it adds a little bit of that crispness, a little bit of color into what is otherwise like a pretty plain and neutral outfit. So I really like how they look doubled up, but even a single strand really adds a really nice pop of color. So I decided I would bring them back. I hope you guys are okay with that. I'm really excited about it, really excited to start making more of them. And thank you to those of you who let me know that you were still really into the azure design. I really enjoyed making those, and that's my little announcement for this video, and also my jewelry favorite as well right now. Next up, I did mention this in my other favorites video, but I want to mention it again because I think if you're just not sure how to switch up your style while it's still kind of chilly, I really think switching your bag is the easiest way to do it, and a tote style immediately to me feels very springtime appropriate. It's also just so easy and convenient. So I've loved switching it up from a flap style into a tote style. I've been using this Gucci Soho tote a lot, and I got a lot of questions about it in that favorites video when you guys saw it with the outfit that I created with caramel tones. and I really love this bag. I don't know why Gucci discontinued it. It's so sad. I think it's just such a well-made bag, and it's very light. You're probably seeing me struggle to lift it, but that's because it's so stuffed with my things. It's actually featherweight for a leather bag with this much hardware, and the straps are extremely comfortable. You can wear it cross-body by just like pulling it out, but I always wear it over my shoulder. I love the really kind of 70s glam tassel. It's definitely one of my favorite bags ever. Sometimes I still do want darker tones, so this bag has been another favorite of mine. I really wanted to share it with you because if you're looking into getting maybe your first Chanel, I think this medallion tote is still one of the most affordable pieces you can get. This bag is from the Hills days, if you can remember back that far. Lauren Conrad had one and carried it all the time, as did a bunch of other celebrities like Misha Barton, and so I always wanted one, and I finally treated myself to one, and I have to say it's just such a nice, easy Chanel bag. There's no fuss with it, hardly any hardware. It's much lighter than a GST tote, and it's got this huge pocket at the back which will fit any cell phone. Really chic. I really like it. It's definitely a little bit more of like that nostalgic vibe, but I've been really enjoying carrying it this spring all over again. Next style favorite, no surprise because I hauled this one fairly recently, but these are my new Vera Pumps, and this color is perfection for this season. It goes with everything. I've been wearing them so much, to the extent where I actually decided I'm going to get rubber soles put on the front. So I wanted to mention them before they go to the cobbler for a few days. I just love everything about them. I love the patent bow. They feel really updated to me. So what's really interesting to me is, to some extent, I hesitated buying these because I have the black ones. I've had them for many years. I want to say like around the time I started my YouTube channel or even before, and they still look brand new, which speaks for the quality of Ferragamos, but also unfortunately for the fact that I have not worn them a ton. I wear them occasionally. There's something about them that just somehow feels really formal to me, but somehow the blush ones are different. They really liven up my outfit. I think they add a really nice feminine kind of Audrey Hepburn vibe to any outfit, and I've just really been pairing them effortlessly, whereas the black ones I really like will think like, will this outfit work with it? Is it kind of like modern enough otherwise? And these blush ones I just throw on and they're super comfortable. They're just such cute little shoes, so I've been really loving these and getting a ton of wear out of them earlier on in the season than I thought I would. And the patent leather is very durable. I've stubbed my toe like a few times into things in the office and they are without a mark, so don't be worried about scratching the patent at all, because there's something about that Ferragamo patent that is pretty much indestructible. If you feel like sweaters and cable knit and textured items like that are getting to be a little bit too heavy for the climate you live in, I highly recommend getting or bringing out silk shirts from your closet and wearing them now, because they just are so light on the skin and airy after winter. There's something about wearing a silk shirt like this one with a nice print that immediately makes me feel kind of rejuvenated in the way you want to during the spring season. I really like this print with the little stars from Equipment. I think it's one of the best ones they've done recently print-wise, but they always have a lot of beautiful prints. I think they do that really well, but they also do basics really well. And look out for the different styles that they offer. So they have one style with pockets like this, which I think is a bit more of like a business casual kind of vibe somehow, but they also have a very classic fit that's a little bit more streamlined, and it's without the pockets, and that one, if you're in a business formal environment, is an absolute must-have in my opinion. So I have some of both in my closet, and every single year, as soon as the weather gets a little bit warmer, I bring them out, and they're so nice and fresh feeling against the skin. They don't wrinkle too much as compared to other silk shirts that I've owned, and the quality of them is fabulous. So I have some that I've had for 3-4 years easily. I wanted to show you a bit more of a current print, but I still am wearing ones that I wore years ago, and they still feel and look brand new. And of course, as soon as it starts warming up, I also definitely increase the amount of dresses I wear by, I would say, at least 30%. So whereas I found some weeks I was wearing trousers 5 days a week while it was really chilly, now I'm wearing dresses around half the time. This example is from Sandro, but of course a sheath is super classic. What's really nice about a sleeveless style like that is that you can layer it up. So I would wear this with like a slim black cardigan or something with a little bit more texture depending on how cold I am, and you can just pull it right into summer. So this dress is a really nice style investment because I can wear it now, but I'm also going to be able to wear it for the next 5 months. Really gorgeous color as well. I think don't be shy in terms of the colors that you get. It's really nice to inject your wardrobe with a little bit of color around this time of year. So you guys know my style is pretty classic, but once in a while I love a good trend. And my favorite one for spring by far is scalloping. So I just really love that as a little element and touch on different otherwise pretty classic pieces, and I am so ready to let ruffles go and go for scallops instead. I never really was into the ruffles thing very much at all, so it's really nice to see a lot of the stock starting to change in stores, and one of the replacements I'm seeing instead of ruffles is a lot of scalloping, and this Eliza J dress is a good example of that being done well. So it's got scalloping around the neckline and around the sleeve and the bottom, but it's really kind of subtle, and it's otherwise a very classic fit and flare style knit dress. The knit is really light, so again, it feels like a really good thing to buy right now. I've been getting so much wear out of it, so many compliments. There's something about this color that makes people happy, I think, somehow. And because it's a light knit, it's one that I'll be able to wear well into the early summer here in Vancouver. I think it would look really nice belted as well, so you could switch it up a bit. I've just been really enjoying it. It washes really well. It's very comfortable. It doesn't lose its shape. Eliza J knocking it out of the park again for workwear. I really love scalloping, so last season I did end up purchasing a pair of Chloe flats, and I have to say I was skeptical about buying these as opposed to Chanel flats, which have a bit more structure, but I've been so pleased with how nice they've stayed. So there's not a single substantial scuff in this really pretty rose gold that I got. There's something just kind of ballerina-like about them. They're very light. You feel very light-footed walking around in them, and they've just been a really good style investment for me. They're really easy to throw on just to go and run errands. At the weekend, I find especially I get a ton of wear out of them. Club Monaco has these Italian-made shoes that are half the price of Chloe ones. So they're still really fairly pricey at $200, but that said, I got the black ones last season, and the quality is impeccable, and all of the details about them are pretty identical to Chloe. So they have the velvet one with the ankle strap, but they also now have a pair of pointy toe flats in black, and I have to say I'm pretty tempted to get those. Whether I do or don't, they're still an amazing dupe because those flats that I just showed you were $500. I paid less than that on sale, but nonetheless it was still more than the $200 that Club Monaco is charging. Every time I mention these pants, I promise myself I'm going to tone it down, but I find it really hard to do that because they are so fantastic. These are the Halogen Trousers with all the elements that I've mentioned, like my silk shirt. This is what I have been wearing on my bottom half, and I really wish that Nordstrom would come out with more colors, but just the black ones are an amazing basic to have. They zip up the back, no bulk at the front. The ponte fabric is very comfortable. It's definitely my favorite fabric for trousers, but what I wanted to say was I used to wear the Paige ponte pants for many years if you watched my channel for a while, and those were my favorite, and they were wonderful. I still have some, but these ones have really topped it for me, and the reason for that is the washing of them, and I really wish I had mentioned that in my laundry care video, but they didn't need washing at the time that I filmed that. They are the easiest pants to wash that I have ever owned. I actually wash them with my workout wear. I just toss it in. It's the right kind of fabric that won't ruffle up Lululemon athletic wear, and they come out of the wash and they are less wrinkled than my Lululemon pants are. They don't really need a steam at all. I will sometimes give them just a quick steam to have them look extra crisp and kind of feel crisp, but they come out really soft. They dry really soft if you just dry them flat, and so for that reason I think they're really extraordinary. It's really hard to find a pair of washable black pants, and J. Crew does make some that are washable, but then they come out of the wash so wrinkly that it's just like you want to dry clean them anyway because it's such a nightmare to get the creases out. So I just have to mention these again. I apologize for the repetition, but they are so fantastic. I just needed to explain a little bit more why I love them so much. I obviously love them because they look great, but I also really love them because they're such a dream to care for. There were many weeks during the winter season that I found I wore my black Ponte pants, because I have several pairs, for 4 days, and then on casual Friday I would always wear these jeans. So I had to mention them in this video because I actually have ordered a pair of white jeans that are similar style. So they're the high waist in this like kind of creamy off-white for what's going to be like late spring going into summer. And I just wanted to update you guys about how I've been loving Mother jeans because they are so hyped up. I was a little bit skeptical that they really would feel different than, like, let's say a really good pair of AGs or Page jeans, and I have to say they do feel more comfortable on me. They just don't feel like jeans at all, but they still have all of the structure of a pair of jeans. My size is 25. I would say size down. Sometimes I'm a 26 in other brands, but I'm a 25 in Mother, and they're just really nice jeans. They also wash really well as well. They haven't lost any of their color. These Ted Baker dresses are just what I reach for when I want to feel a little bit more dressed up. They're very, very forgiving in the skater style. I think Ted Baker has a really good pattern that when I say pattern, I don't mean like the pattern of the fabric, I mean the pattern that it's sewn from, and they just repeat that every year. So if you know which style you like, you can just kind of repeat that in different fabrics. So this is one of the first ones that I bought in England many years ago, and you can see it looks brand new. So they're quite pricey, but exceptional quality. They make these fit and flare or skater type dresses, whatever you want to call them, just in the most beautiful fabrics that really evoke spring and summer to me. So I love this one, but I also love a lot of the newer ones that they're coming out with, and the odds of me buying another one are probably pretty high. This is a bonus item. Thank you for listening to me talk about candles if you're still here. I had to mention these because I couldn't find any other video to put them in, and I feel like this is a time of year where I always switch my candles out. I'm kind of over those like much heavier scents, and it's actually quite challenging to find scents that are fragrant enough that they will make your home feel welcoming and have like a signature scent to it, but be inoffensive enough that you can have it on the table or near the table while you're entertaining and people are eating. I find so many candles nowadays just aren't balanced in the right way to make that possible. So they are very, very heavy, and all of the notes in it just come out so strongly that you can barely taste your food. So these two are potent enough that your whole home will have a light scent to it, but they're perfect for spring because they're just light, airy, fresh, and inviting. The first one is Sicilian Tangerine from Nest. Nest is my all-time favorite candle brand. I'm always happy to splurge on these. The quality is impeccable, and for a fruity scent, it is beautifully balanced. It is very, very hard to find a citrus candle that does not smell like house cleaner. This one smells like pure sophistication. There's something about the smell of oranges that makes me think of Italy. This is Mocara, and it says it smells like orchids, white lily, and spring moss. I definitely get white flowers from this one. What I get when I burn it is just a really sophisticated white flower. So not too dusty or powdery like a lot of white flower perfumes tend to smell, but just very clean white flowers. So if you're not into the upkeep of having flowers around all the time, I don't do that year round. This is a really nice substitute, and it's very light. So if you have this burning on the table, no one will even notice necessarily what it smells like. It just really makes the atmosphere inviting, and I really like the subtlety of it. The price of Voluspa is also amazing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please let me know in the comments down below anything that you are currently loving style-wise for the spring season. So I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you'd like to see my next installment on style. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!